you're just an empty shell. You're a good-looking shell, but it's empty.
Right. Yeah, this is that time. What is that song? You can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you go.
You can't hide from yourself.
Everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah, man. And it's interesting because, for example, if you're looking at the Instagram, right, IG and all this, like I'm seeing this over exhibition of nudity. A lot of women are using the socials and men as well, but I'm looking at both genders anyway. It's been like that, but it worsened in this past year, almost and a half now, with this pandemic, where you will literally see people going online and crying, for example, and posting themselves crying, or you will see people, being in their robes, and you can see through their robes, you can see their titties, or you can actually see people literally spreading their ass cheeks and showing the whole rack, and it's like everything has been so normalized, so trivialized. Like there is no more sacred value, and if you dare to say anything about it, you are anti-progress. You are shaming.
Whatever. Cancel culture, right?
The cancel culture comes for you then and say, or you're a macho, or you're not for example, as a man, I've heard some of the females that I know telling me that I needed to open my mind because whether I wanted it or not, this had nothing to do with sexualization. It was just them empowering themselves. And I'm like, well, you're definitely empowering yourself, but you're giving food for pervs. Oh, well, men have to control themselves, but you are in a male-dominated society, whether you want it or not. It's this, right. and unfortunately, it is that toxic that toxic masculinity, and because of these things that have been going on for centuries and centuries.
Right, it's not going to stop overnight.
You think that because, well, they got to control themselves. You think so? Because if you think you can walk down the street at night alone, because what like, oh man, like
right. We should tell criminals to control themselves.
Exactly.
Don't rob me. Just.
It's like, and for example, it's like people are like, I don't want people to steal my privacy, dude. You showing your ass on the internet. What more privacy don't you want people to take from you? Right. Of course you have the right. That's your freedom. But again, and don't get me wrong. I mean, it's go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so it's okay for people to have like half naked titties and be half naked or whatever. That's all right to do. But you post something about an oximeter and checking your breathing while you're at work to make sure you're following OSHA guidelines, and that gets deleted. So like, what are we doing? You could be naked, but you can't talk about oxygen and checking your oxygen levels at work. I posted something one day about, hey, you should get an oximeter just in case you feel like you're not able to breathe at your job. Good. And these are the OSHA guidelines. And it got taken down immediately. Nothing naked. It wasn't even my video. So like, what's the double standard here? It's ridiculous.
And I think it's a double standard. Yeah. It is, and it's okay to push pornography because to a certain point and to a certain extent, this is normalized levels of pornography. Now, I don't want to be extreme, but I understand the whole concept of being artistic and having the freedom of, but this whole thing of like, wet ass pussy, it makes no damn fucking sense to me. And it's like, people don't understand that y'all be seeing Cardi B and it bothers me because I'm looking at my nieces and I'm looking at this new generation and the normalization of all of these nonsenses, and no matter how good you're trying to give that education to that kid, I'm not saying that, well, you can do what you want with your body. It is your body, but just because it is your body, like, don't nobody need to see like, the crack of your ass or, but anyway, it is a business, right? This is what it is. So. Don't get me wrong, I respect that.
No, some kids fall prey to it, and it's done on purpose to demoralize kids, to make kids or people who are
and you become so, and your body, like for young males, for example, like, yo, the size of my dick, it's like, yo, but yo, it's pushing such but male. This nah, man. You can raise your son the best way you want. Unfortunately, the fact that as a young man that he is becoming, and as he interacts with other men who are also fucked up in their own ways or whatever or whatnot, like that person is going to formulate his own way of thinking. It's like.
Did you see that Little Nas X video?
I saw it. I
was like, what in God's name? Like, what is it?
I understand the concept behind it. It's in the same line as the Cardi B Wet Ass Pussy and Megan Thee Stallion. I think that there is, however, a danger with. I mean, but we know now they're doing it purposely, right? They're putting purposely. They're putting Satan in there. They're putting all these references to, like, but
because they're cool.
But I understand that homosexuality has always been portrayed as something satanic. So I understand artistically the reason behind it, to sort of like awaken minds, and I get it.
Is it?
I think so, because I mean the truth is that to this day there's still this narrative that says that if you're gay or lesbian or whatnot, you are indeed possessed by a spirit. A lot of people. I mean, I know people personally who still think that way. Unfortunately.
Well, I think that he more so was putting himself out there, like, everybody knows that I'm not straight, that I'm gay. Number one. And number two, I've signed on to the synagogue of Satan. I'm down with that. I'm down with the Luciferian. Like, I'm part of the Illuminati. That's what that said to me. That's what I got.
But that's where I'm having confusion. So I understand. Yeah. I mean, I've met a Satanist once in my life, as a matter of fact. We probably met others, but they never disclosed that information to me. And I remember that guy was one of the nicest men I've ever seen. Like, honestly. And we sat one morning after a party and we talking. He's like, "Oh, I'm a Satanist." I swear to God, for a moment, I didn't want to show it, but I think it showed in my face. I just like, like. I was literally swallowing my croissant. And like I had a moment, I was like, okay, all right, let me strip my mind off of any preconceived ideas. I'm standing in my light, it's fine. Let me understand what this guy is talking about. Let me not be judgmental. And it was giving you this speech about, Baphomet and all these like references that, the devil is not what he's portrayed to be. I mean, again, and if I'm being completely philosophical about it and very strict from any preconceived ideas about this whole topic, I understand what they mean. But the problem that I have is that anything that is extreme, whether too much light, can become darkness, because extremes meet each other, right? Eventually, right. If you go to extreme of each point, it's like, because it's a circle, so those extremes come together then to, you know what I mean, so yeah, I mean, I feel you, but then Illuminatis though, for me, I understand Illuminati as being a group of people who are extremely educated, who have keys and are sharing ritualistic ways and knowledge, ritualistic knowledge on how to access and tap into certain universal laws and unlocking certain things. But you don't need to be an Illuminati to do that, though.
Right.
If you're clairvoyant and you're spiritually inclined and gifted and you've worked on it, I think that's something that you can do pretty easily.
They're more down with the whole cabal where, there's human trafficking going on, there's sex trafficking going on, there's rituals going on, and these rituals are said to, trying to find the best. I've done a lot of research on it to a point where I'm probably about to say something crazy. So
please go ahead. As long as you can back it up, that's the most important.
Well,